Hello! Hi, this is Professor Parish, and welcome to English 122! How exciting, right? So if you're watching this video, then you have logged on to my SIC, and you have selected to watch the introduction video for English 122, the short semester edition. So strap in, because this class will move quickly. We have a lot of ground to cover, and I want to, in this video, at least explain to you all what you have to look forward to in the class, tell you a little bit about what is to be expected, go over a couple of how things in the class work assignment-wise, and then just give you some general tips in going over the syllabus. So, I am Rachel Parish. You can call me Professor Parish, Ms. Parish, Rachel. I'm open to pretty much anything that you would like to call me, but I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. So, you have chosen this class, I'm presuming, because either the other classes for English 122 are full, or you're wanting to get this class done in a shorter semester, or whatever the case may be. English 122 is an extension of English 121. Now, everyone in this class is probably coming at English 122 from a different perspective. Maybe you took English 121 last semester. Maybe you took it while you were in high school for dual credit. Maybe you took it 10 years ago. Who knows? I don't know yet how you've come into this class. However, I do want to share with you what English 122 is about. So if you took English 121 here at SIC, that class focused on writing techniques in writing compare and contrast, informative papers, and research papers, maybe persuasion, maybe an analysis. It was mainly just writing various forms of composition. English 122 does expand upon that, in that we learn how to take those techniques you learned in 121 and apply them in a new way by looking at various genres and subgenres of literature. So we're going to be looking at fiction and nonfiction, basically prose. We'll be looking at poetry, looking at drama, and then doing a final research paper that you get to choose your topic for. So we kind of combine that critical thinking, researching skills that you've learned in English 121, as well as your knowledge of grammar from your years of taking English classes, and we apply that to the genres and subgenres of literature to do a more creative and fun new form of critical analysis and research. So I realize that most of you at this point are probably saying, I'm not an English major. I just need this class for my degree. Understandable. I've had very few English majors since I've been teaching here at SIC. However, for professional reasons, I can tell you that the things that you learn in English 121 and 122, they are important. You do apply them to your workplace outside of just the college classroom. You're going to apply the skills you learn in here not only to your other college classes, but maybe if you're working in the medical field, to how you write professional emails, memos, to how you research, to how you critically think about what you're writing, what you're doing. Hopefully something you take from this class will apply itself to your field. Because after all, we do write every day, whether it's something we're not even thinking about like social media, or whether it's for an actual job. So I'm excited. I will try to make this class as enjoyable and excitable as possible. I'm a huge English nerd, so hopefully I will do my best in these lecture videos to not bore you to tears, and instead to impart with you some good wisdom about the things we're going to discuss, and hopefully you'll take that with you into your future classes and careers. So what to expect out of this class? Every week I'm going to have a lecture video, with the exception of spring break, which is next week. So I'm going to prep you all for spring break this week. You will have a lecture video. Some will be longer than others. They'll be going over the textbook readings. We'll be going over housekeeping things about the class. We'll be going over new assignments and how to submit them. Just basic things. So if I can give you any piece of advice, it is that please make sure that you watch the lecture videos each week. They will be in the announcements section, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and in our resources page. So just be sure each week, I try to get videos out by Monday or Tuesday night each week. Sometimes I get them out sooner, like Sunday or Saturday, but at the very least, by Tuesday of each week, you should be able to access the video for this class and see it. So I'm going to try to get the videos for this week, since we are on an accelerated time frame. I'm going to try to get all of our videos each week out by Sunday. That won't always happen, and I will note that in the assignments if a video is going to come out later than Sunday each week, but that's my goal as an instructor, to get these videos out. So let me minimize this screen, and I will go over, basically, hi, I'm down here now. I want to go over this class and what to expect. So if you log on to my SIC, you likely saw this screen right here. The video that you're watching now is going to be listed right here in this link. We are going to go over the syllabus very quickly. These two books are essential for this class, especially this book, which is a very lovely, thick, giant textbook. Don't worry, we're not going to read all of it, but you do need this book. I sent out an email about 2 weeks ago to everyone that was enrolled at that time in this course, and there may have been some people add last minute to this class and some people drop. I'm not sure, but if you got onto your Falcon Mail, you should have seen an email by me if you've been enrolled in this class for at least a couple weeks that said that you need this textbook, and you absolutely do. We jump right into the assignments this week because we only have 8 weeks. It's like cramming a summer course into the middle of spring. So we only have 8 weeks really worth of content to get through. So you will need this textbook immediately. Now, you have two options. You can either go to our bookstore. Today is March 2nd. I'm recording this on Saturday. Our bookstore's open from 8:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. If I were you, I would recommend going to our bookstore this coming week, March 4th through the 8th, to get your textbook. Because after that, we will be on spring break, so the bookstore will not be open March 11th through the 15th. If you ordered your book off of Amazon or somewhere else, I won't excuse that because you probably have known about this class for some time now, or at the very least, it is your responsibility to have the textbook and to technically get it from our bookstore to begin with. So if you've ordered your textbook and it's not arrived yet, you do have the option to go onto campus and use our textbook that's on the library reserve. You can access it there. You can't take it with you, but you can take notes out of it and do assignments if you need to. But that's kind of a last-minute resort. I'm assuming you're taking this class online to avoid being on campus. So just be prepared. Make sure you get this textbook in week 1. And this book right here is what used to be the Wadsworth Handbook and is now the Cengage Handbook. We started using it in English 121 and 122 last semester. I really, really like this textbook. 1, because everything's up to date in it. And 2, it comes with a really cute, awesome little pocket MLA guide, which is awesome. So if you don't have the handbook from 121, if you've not taken 121 in a long time and you don't have this handbook, I would get it just for the sole reason that it gives you that little guide for MLA. And you can always rent it and then give it back or sell it back or whatever you want. But you do need that textbook. We do have readings out of it. It is not as immediate or essential that you get it as the Discovering Literature book is, but by the time we get to our research paper, you will need this book. So please make sure that you get both of these textbooks. You can get it from our bookstore, and the ISBN numbers are online, and you can call and ask about them just to compare prices and things like that. So let us, before we explore this site, let us go through the syllabus, which I have down here. I'm going to maximize this and kind of zoom in. All right, so this class is English 122. We are the OM section, which means we're the short semester. We are an extension of 121. You do have to have a C or higher in this class for it to transfer. So please keep that in mind. All of these things that we go in through here are just objectives, things that we're going to do in the class. They're very straightforward, so I'm not going to read them all one by one. But basically, we are an extension of 121. We are going to use MLA and do a research paper. We are going to do various assignments that involve critical thinking and writing skills that will develop you as a writer. And I want to be very clear about this as writing. A lot of students say, oh, I want to master writing. I don't think that that's possible. And when I was in school, we were taught that that's not possible. We are constantly developing the way that we write. Social media changes constantly, technology changes constantly, the language that we use changes over time. There's no way to master writing. However, what we can do is that we can articulate and develop skills as a writer so that we are the most competent that we can be in whatever project that we're doing. So that we can do the best we can is basically the idea behind it. So if you're like, oh, I'm not a good writer, you are, or you would not be in English 122. I can guarantee you that. I have taught English 101 all the way up through this class, and you can't get to this point unless you are a good writer. So be confident in yourself in that. You've made it to the last English class you will probably take in your college career. So rejoice in that you are a good writer. Everyone has their niche. Everyone has their specialty. This class, I really enjoy teaching it because I feel like this exposes it exposes the strengths of us as writers. And I feel like my students figure out which genre they really specialize in, which type of writing they're best at, and that kind of confidence I want to build in you because you are a good writer. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here at this point. So just don't come into this class being like, oh, I'm a bad writer. No, you're a good writer. And this class is going to help to emphasize that and develop it. So the primary method of instruction, we will go over guided lectures, videos. Any supplemental things I will supply will be free and from me uploading to you all, and we will do discussion forums. So the major topics of our course. We do short story first, which involves fiction and nonfiction. We talk about the elements of prose, the method of analysis, recurring themes, different elements and terminology like that. Then we go over poetry, then drama, which we probably spend the least amount of time on drama, and we only spend the least amount of time on drama because we do have drama classes here at SIC that you can take if you really want to expand. Like we have an intro to drama class, we have theater appreciation. I mean, if you really want to focus on drama as an English form, I would suggest taking the class English 243 Intro to Drama. I think you'll get a lot out of it. And then we have a research paper, which will involve a bibliography, outlining, don't plagiarize, and then have a works cited page. The first 3 essays that we do are 3 to 5 pages, and those, there's not a big turnaround in this class because we are limited on the amount of time we have. So you'll have about a week and a half to write the first 3 of your papers. I want to give you week and a half to 2 weeks. I want to give you as much time as possible for the last paper because it is considerably longer. Your research paper is longer, but there are, before you freak out and you're like, an 8 to 10 page research paper, I can't do that. 1, yes you can. 2, because I've had students for the past 8 years do it. 2, the last paper that we do has lots of parts to it. So it's not like you're just expected to just make up 8 pages out of nothing. There's going to be a structure to it and a format. So don't worry. When we get to the research paper, there's going to be a lot of prep work and a lot of planning that we do to make sure you have all of the necessary pages possible. And then you have to turn in all 3 of these and other required assignments for credit in the class. So here is a class schedule of kind of what we are doing each week, just to give you a heads up of everything due. So for example, in week 1, we are March 4th to the 10th. We will have this intro video, a grammar sampler, a discussion forum, your thesis and outline, and reading response. Now don't worry, March 11th to 17th is our spring break. I am going to open the Dropbox for these assignments all the way up to week 7 to March 17th. So you'll technically have 2 weeks to work on these assignments. So to help you ease into the class, right? So don't worry. However, I do have something very important to talk about with spring break, so please make sure you watch until the end of this video because it is extremely important, okay? And then you can see how we do. So paper 1 will be due March 24th. Paper 2 is due April 7th. Paper 3 is due April 21st. And then we've got the last couple of weeks, the last 3 weeks, to work on paper 4. Note in week 7, we do not have a discussion forum for that week. So you'll have a little one less assignment, but things move fast in this class. And my biggest piece of advice to you all is to 1, keep track of this chart, write things down if you have to, but 2, turn in every assignment. It is very important. I will tell you now that the students in my English classes typically get one of 3 grades. They either get an A or a B, and that's if they are turning in all of their assignments on time. If you turn in every assignment on time and it's completed, you're going to get an A or a B in this class. It's a tried and true formula from my years of teaching. The 3rd grade that students typically receive is an F. And that's if they don't do their work. And they just think, I have had some students that think at the last minute, I'll let them make up assignments. No, not at all. So if I am a stickler of anything, it is of assignments being turned in on time. Because, and we'll get to that shortly, because it's important. You have to treat this class kind of like a job in a sense, that if you were in a career situation and you had a deadline and you didn't meet it, you wouldn't get rewarded and you probably wouldn't get an extension. So I hold you all to a high standard, and because I know that you can do the work. And I've had students take this class over the summer on the same time frame and they do fine. So I have faith in you. The textbooks are listed here, and you can look these up online. There's all the information is in MLA for you. Plagiarism. Just write your own stuff. I've taught this class enough that I've honestly only had one person ever plagiarize a paper. Believe it or not, one time. And it was for the paper number 1 for fiction. They wrote this story about what happened to them over the summer, and everything was sounding very movie-esque. I was like, man, this sounds like a movie that I've seen a long time ago. And so I went to International Movie Database, to IMDb, and I typed in the first paragraph of their paper, and lo and behold, they had just copied and pasted the movie plot summary of Bad Boys 2. I am not joking at all. Bad Boys 2, movie plot summary, they copied and pasted the whole summarization and put their name at the top. And when I confronted them about it, they said, oh, I was like just gonna cite that movie summary. And I was like, it's your whole paper. So that is the only time anybody's ever plagiarized. You all have heard it since you were in school, in high school, grade school, whatever. Just don't do it. I will get to know you as a student over the course of these next couple of weeks, and I will get to see your voice as a writer. So I will be able to tell if you are not writing like you normally do. It's pretty obvious to your instructors at this point. So just don't do it. Now, how grades are determined in this class is what you can find next on the syllabus. Each of our papers, 1 through 3, are worth 100 points. We do have our research paper, since it's twice as long, is worth twice as many points, so 200. Your exams, I call them exams. I was not a big test taker in college, so we do exams, but you'll note they're 25 points each. They are not very long. As long as you have your textbook and you take notes from my presentations and lecture videos, you will be fine. There are 4 of them. We do one for poetry, one for short story, one for drama, and one for MLA. And then you have a final exam that goes over everything except MLA that's worth 100 points. So 200 points for the exams. The other assignments we do in the class are worth 300 points. And then we have 15 discussion forums. Or in this case, I've shortened it down. I actually need to change that. That's for my usual class. We will have 8 discussions for 20 points each. All right, so I do need to alter that a little bit. I've changed the point value, so it'll end up being 300 points. It just won't be 15 discussions. It'll be 8 instead, and they're worth 40 points each instead of 20. So I will change that. By the time you download the syllabus, this part will be changed. All right, so basically the class is worth 1,300 points. So this will give you a grading scale to let you know if you're getting an A, B. Like I said, I've had a few C's in the past, maybe a handful of D's, but usually it's either an A or B in the class, or it's an E. But I don't want it to be an E. I want you all to get A's and B's. As long as you do the work, as I've said, you should be fine. And you'll also notice here, this class is very balanced. Turning in all the assignments are important. I am not one of those instructors that puts all of the points on just the tests that you take at the beginning and end of the semester, and then we have throwaway assignments. No assignment in this class is a throwaway assignment. Every assignment is important and has a purpose. When I was in college, I did not like being in a class where we were doing fluff assignments that didn't mean anything. I could not stand that. So as an instructor, everything we do has a significance, it has a reason, and the points are justified. So you'll notice here, now the research paper and the final exam, that's 300 points. So that's like 20% of the class. I'll give you that. That's a big chunk right there at the end. But everything else in the class, the 100 points is like 7%, 7%, 7%, 14%, like 20%, 20%. It all adds up, and it's all pretty well balanced. So every assignment each week is important to complete. Now here's where I'm the stickler. This is my one pet peeve as an instructor. Like with this first set of assignments, you have from March 4th to March 17th to complete. Because you have so much time to complete the assignments, I do not accept late work at all. I have, from my past years of experience, noticed that sometimes a student will be like, oh, well, give me an extra day to catch up on the assignment. And then they catch up, but then they're a day behind on completing the other assignments. And it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs and gets worse and worse. So if you miss an assignment, my advice is just move forward. If you miss a discussion forum, yeah, you lost those points, but just move forward and get the other assignments completed so you can make it up. Do not miss a paper in this class because that will plummet your grade. Papers are really important. Do the discussion forums. I had a student one year that was like, I'll just miss out on all the discussion forums. Well, as you'll note, if you don't do any discussion forums, you're automatically at a B. Automatically. I mean, even if you did perfect on everything else and you didn't do the discussion forums, it's automatically a B. Or a C. It's actually automatically a C, because if you miss 300 points, that's 1,000. That's in the C range. So everything is important. You are also responsible, since you are an online student, for having a plan in place for when technology fails. I took many online classes when I was a student. I've had to go to McDonald's at 10 p.m. and use the Wi-Fi. I've had to go to libraries in the summer when I was away from home. I've gone to, I think, the McLeansboro Library like 4 summers in a row to do assignments. I've had to, when my family went on vacation, I had to go find a restaurant that had Wi-Fi and hang out for a couple hours. I mean, you do have to make sacrifices, and you do have to be prepared. So technology issues happen, so you need to have a plan B. My best recommendation is save everything that you do in your email. Pop up an email, send it to yourself, attach whatever assignment you're about to submit, and go ahead and send that email to yourself so you always have a copy of your work saved. If your computer crashes, that will let you get on anybody else's computer, pull up your email, and there's the assignment right there. That does wonders, because I've had that happen. I've had my computer break in the middle of the night, and I had to go to a friend's house and retype the whole thing, and it was frustrating, but it's what you have to do. So if you have technical difficulties ahead of time, like if something happens and you know that you're going to have some issue come up, please email me and please communicate with me. If you are sick, let me know, because I don't see you all since we are online. So I don't know what's going on in your life right now unless you let me know. So if you have the flu, if a family member is having surgery and you're at the hospital, if there's a death in the family, if there's an emergency, if anything happens, please let me know. Because I do want to help you and work with you one-on-one in those situations. If it is out of your control, I will work with you in that situation. If it's something you cannot control, I will help you. But if it's something you can, like if you just forget to turn in something, or if you're like, oh, I was at a friend's house hanging out, or if you're like, oh, I was on vacation, if it's something that is within your control, then I don't allow late work, because you should have a plan in place. If you're going on any trips for sports, for competitive teams, I'm going to open these assignments up early so that you can work on them ahead of time. Just make sure that you work ahead and you should be fine. All right? So just make sure, I just want to put that up in the air to kind of let you know my pet peeve about the class. My attendance policy. If this were a 16-week course, my policy for a normal 16-week course is if you miss 1 week of assignments, if you don't turn anything in for a week, I will send you what we call a starfish, a notification, and it'll be a drop notice. And I will say, okay, you didn't do anything for a week, so if you don't do anything for week 2, I'm going to drop you from the class. I'm going to withdraw you. This class is a little different because we only have 8 weeks, so 1 week missed in this class is like missing 2 weeks. Yeah. So, what I will do is if you don't turn in an assignment for an entire week, I will let you know through Starfish and through an email notification that you are receiving a drop notice, and you will have 3 to 4 days to do an assignment. If you don't do any assignment, you're getting dropped. So you basically, if you don't do an assignment for a week and a half in this class, you're being dropped because it's just not going to work. You have to turn stuff in every week to stay in this class, or it's just not going to pan out. So just keep that in mind. And I will let you know if I don't see anything from you in a week, I will send you an email notification saying, hey, you didn't turn anything in. You have 3 to 4 days to turn in some kind of assignment to stay in this class, or I will withdraw you. All right. And if you are withdrawn and you don't have at least a 70% in this class, I will not let you back in. Because at that point, you're probably not going to get a C or higher just from experience. So just keep that in mind. All right. And then if you have any ADA accommodations, please contact this number here and let them know. We don't have time tests in this class, so that should not be an issue. The exams you all complete, you will have an entire week to do them, not timed, so you should be good. This explains the Starfish system that I use to notify you if you have not turned in assignments or if you have a low grade in the class, just to keep you up to date. And then this other stuff here, don't worry about it. That's all on my end. And then this last page, you can see the mission, accreditation, assessment. If you've not gone to Falcon Mail, please make sure you access your Falcon Mail because that's how I will email you and you'll be able to see my emails. And then the code of conduct. Obviously, in our discussion forums, there's going to be a lot of opinion-based questions asked. And I've never had this issue in an online class, but I always say it anyway. Just recognize that we are in a respectful space. To respect your peers and what they write. We don't always agree as human beings, and that's okay. It would be a really dull world if we all thought the same. So I find it intriguing when we all do have different opinions, but we all have to be respectful and treat each other as we would like to be treated as well. So that's our syllabus. Now back to our class. So if you scroll down, this announcement section is where I will post new lecture videos each week. They will also be in our resources, which I'll show you here in a second. The handouts that we have for each class are in this part right here. You can scroll through there, or you can go to resources. The disability services information is right here. Policy for dropping an online course. My contact information is right here. I'm actually going to update my office number because it's 132 in E now instead of 120. But I also work with a lot of high schools for dual credit, so I'm technically on campus from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. However, I'm often gone to high schools, so if you need to contact me, I would go ahead and email first and just say, hey, Miss Parish, can I meet with you on Wednesday at 3 o'clock? And I'll let you know if that will work or if we need to reschedule it. All right. So on the side here are the different pages for our course. If you did any of these links are all the ones that we see down here, so you don't have to worry about them. This button or this button or this button will take you back to this home page, which is convenient. These two pages here are the same thing. They have the exact same content. However, I will show you weekly assignments first. I don't like this page. I really don't, because there's just a lot going on here. I don't like this. It shows you all the resources listed for week 1, and some of these go for the entire class, not just week 1. I just don't like this page, and I've not figured out how to get rid of it yet. So what I would do instead of weekly assignments, I would go to course content. I really like the way that the course content page is set up. Let me move over. I can't put it in student view now to show you what you will actually see because this class isn't open yet. But, so for example, if I click on week 1, it shows me to read the syllabus and watch this introduction video. We also have a week 1 video in the announcements, and that will be in the resources that goes over the chapters we're looking at in this book this week. And then it shows you what you should read in your textbook. Note that chapters 1 through 4, chapter 1, we're only doing page 1 through 12. Chapter 2, chapter 3 is like 14 pages, chapter 4, and then there's a couple pages here. And then the concise handbook is just 3 through 16. So you don't have to close read all those pages. These are just the pages that the terminology is on that we're going to go over. And complete your initial discussion forum posts on Friday and respond to at least 4 peer posts by Sunday. And then these assignments here, you have until March 17th. So the discussion forum you do have to do this week. It is our introduction forum. So by March 8th and March 10th, you do have to have these assignments completed. These other ones, though, you will have till March 17th to do. So when you get onto course content, please make sure you read the due dates and pay very close attention to them. And then down here are each of the drop boxes for your assignments. So the discussion forum, it shows you that posts are due by Friday, your responses are due by Sunday. The grammar sampler, paper 1 thesis and outline, and your reading response are all due Sunday. And if I click on this grammar sampler, for example, it will show, it doesn't show me this because I'm the instructor, but it will show you a button that says upload file, and you'll be able to attach a file from your computer to the assignment and turn it in. All right. And then it just goes on. Now, spring break is listed here. I will say this. I want to tell you all about spring break. Our IT department is doing an upgrade during the first part of spring break. So they are hoping to have everything upgraded. It's more an upgrade for the faculty on campus, but they are hoping to have the upgrade done by Wednesday, March 13th. But from March 11th, 12th, and 13th, you will not be able to get on my SIC or your email or pretty much anything to do with SIC. I know, tragic, right? You don't have to do homework those 3 days. But just keep that in mind. If you're like, I can't get on my email, it won't let me, it's because they're doing that upgrade. Now, they have told me that the upgrade will be done by Wednesday. Okay? But I'm not 100% sure about that. So just keep checking after Wednesday to see if it'll let you on. But you will have no way of getting onto my SIC or your online class March 11th, 12th, or 13th at least. They're hoping to have it finished by the end of the week during spring break. All right? But I'll still have to where the other assignments are due the 17th in any case. All right? Otherwise, there's no assignments over spring break. The discussion forum is right here. You'll notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 discussion forums. Week 1, if I click on it, you do have a post where you introduce yourself to the class and you answer these questions about yourself. Since we only have 8 discussion forums instead of the normal 15 that I have in my regularly scheduled class, you will answer 4 peers. You'll respond to 4 peers, and we'll post each week. So it's kind of like each forum's worth double the points that they are in my normal 16-week class. Every post that you do for the discussion forum is due by Friday. Every forum post is due by Friday, meaning you have to add your own post to the forum by Friday night each week, with the exception of spring break, because this post is due March 8th. Your 4 peer responses, you can do them that Friday if you want, or you can wait and do them Saturday or Sunday. They're just due by Sunday at 11:55 p.m. What I take points off of, each of your initial posts are worth 10 points, and each of your responses are worth 5 points. So you do 10 points, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then I give 10 points for grammar and spelling. So each forum is technically worth 40 points, each discussion forum for the week. And yeah, And I will take points off for grammar misspellings, for if answers are too short or too simplistic. I'm not going to give you a word count because that's silly to me. But I do expect you to answer the question concisely and completely. All right? So just pay attention to the due dates. And the discussion forums are my favorite part of the class, honestly, because they are our chance to talk to each other. Since we're online, we don't have the opportunity to Skype back and forth every week. So this is my chance to hear what you all have to say. And I do enjoy it a lot. I will read every post that is on the forum. I do my best to answer all the posts. I can't guarantee it will happen every week, but I do my best, especially if you post early, to answer all of your posts and give you some feedback. Now, resources. Resources are listed in a row here. So like for week 1, we have the fiction presentation that I'm going to go over in the other video posted to this class, paper 1 guidelines, which I'll go over in the other video, and your thesis and outline guidelines, which I'll go over in the other video. And then obviously your syllabus and extra copies right here. Now, this MLA citation presentation, we won't go over it for a couple of weeks, but you can go ahead and check it out if you want. It will always be posted here so you can see it. And then if you scroll down, like here, I have an example of paper 1 from a previous student, just to give you an idea of how they've wrote paper 1. And then you can scroll down and see all of the resources we have for each week. All right. So the gradebook will be posted here. Obviously, you will only be able to see your own grade. I do my best to be up to date with grades, so I try to keep that updated in real time so you can see them. Our roster is right here, so if you're ever needing to email me, I'm always in the dark gray, or if you want to email a classmate, you can do that as well. Attendance, I can check. I can actually click this user statistics down here. You all don't see that, but I do, and I can actually check and see not only when you log into this class, but how long you spend in this class and which pages you visit. It's kind of creepy. And I don't use it a lot, but if a student hasn't been attending, I will look up and see when the last time they've logged in was, and I'll contact them and say, hey, you've not logged in 4 days. And when you do log in, you're on for like 2 minutes. Maybe you should spend a little longer in the class, or something to that effect. And then course information just talks about the class, gives you my email, and then there's the help button here. If you need any type of assistance, there's a student support request. You can call or email about assistance, or if you're on campus, you can go to A124 Media Services if you need help. And if you need tutoring, we do have tutoring in the Student Success Center. You can call them or schedule an appointment if you need to. And that should be about it. So yeah, this class does go fairly fast, but I've found that students have been just as successful in it as they have been the regular 16-week course. So I'm excited. This is probably my favorite class to teach. So I really look forward to seeing what you all write, what you all cook up, and what we talk about in the discussion forum. So there will be a week 1 video posted along with this. I know this video is long, and the week videos will probably be a bit long since we're covering a lot of ground, but they will always be posted to YouTube as well. So you can go to my YouTube channel, Professor Parish, and you can actually see, I'll have our videos posted as English 122 OM, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. If you have any questions at any time, please email me and let me know. I'm always happy to answer. Otherwise, I look forward to having you all in the class. I hope you have a great spring break, and I will talk to you all soon. See ya!